Yo, what up, TascFam? It's Mike from 424recording.com. We're live. Um, it's Wizard Wednesday, but the Wizard is not here because the Wizard was here yesterday. But I just wanted to let you know if you're catching the replay, uh, don't forget to subscribe if you want to get notifications about these live streams. You can just click the bell icon next to where you hit subscribe, and then you'll be notified every time we go live. Generally, we go live Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern time. So if you want to catch a live stream, we'd love to have you come and hang and be a part of the Task Fam. We just do recording Q&As, we do a little hangout, talk about stuff we're working on. So yeah, we'd love to have you. So don't forget to hit the bell and to subscribe. So we're gonna get things going over here right now. Yeah, thanks for coming out. So yesterday we had to we did usually Jay the Wizard. Hey Andrew, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for coming through. Right now there is not a flake of snow outside. So I don't know what the deal was with the snowstorm, but where we are, I don't know. Maybe Jay is a little further up north. He may have some snow, but as of right now, there's no snow outside. So this big storm we were supposed to have didn't happen. I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you. I'm not a weatherman. Hey, twin, what's going on? Yeah, we're just chilling, guys. If you have any questions, hit me up. We're just getting things started here. I got some tea I made. Actually, yeah, no snow. Oh, weird. That's down in Virginia, twin. Oh, that's hot. Um, yeah, we got Baltimore. Yeah, yeah. We got no nothing right now. I know the city of New Jersey was supposed to be hit pretty hard, but as of right now, yeah, it's no snow. So I mean, I was thinking about taking a trip up to CJ, but I don't know. I've been really tired the past couple days, so um, I don't know. I figured it'd be easier just to stream right from home, and I'll see Jay. Well, we saw Jay yesterday, but I'll see him up there next week. But it's always great to have Jay on the stream. So I'm just pulling up my chat right here on my computer. So bear with me. But yeah, what have you guys been working on? We had some cool stuff coming through, some links yesterday. I'm still working on my album, trying to get that done, and it's going well. I just been dragging my feet a little bit, and I don't know, been having a hard time getting motivated to finish it. Just feels a little bit, I don't know. I don't want to say pointless, but I haven't really felt too inspired to work on my stuff, and but I think that's part of it. You know, that kind of happens sometimes with recording. So, c'est la vie. It is what it is. Damn, all night. Yeah, all nighter. I can't do that anymore, Andrew. I'm getting too old for that. I feel you. That's got to be rough. It usually takes me about 3 to 4 days to recover now if I pull an all nighter. The last time I pulled an all nighter was actually at the cabin when we were streaming live, and oh my god, I had like the weirdest like panic moment when because like I slept for like an hour and it was just like my brain was just fried and I was like I didn't know where I was and was like freaking out a little bit. It was weird, but yeah, what were you doing? Were you recording last night, Andrew, or studying? The good news is we do have power today, so that's cool because last week we did not. Was that last week? I think it was. Um, yeah, I've been laying down some bass tracks, just chilling. Really, it's been like I said, the past couple days have been pretty tough in terms of just getting being motivated and doing stuff. I did a lot of the stuff for the channel earlier this month, so I've had some more free time. But I've just been brainstorming on some stuff. We've been getting some stuff done for the pedal. The Kickstarter is going to be in April, so that's cool. Tim's been helping me out with that, which is exciting because I'm really excited to get that going and I don't know, post that out there and see what happens with it. I just got the packaging supplies today for that, which is cool. So we'll be able to ship out the pedals and figure out what the shipping is going to be and stuff. So hey, Catface, what's going on? Good to see you. We're just having a low key hang sesh right about now. Talking non-existent winter storm up here. So and I don't know what we're working on these days. There's not a flake of snow up here at the moment where I am. I'm waiting all day for it to start coming down, and yeah, nothing yet. So Twin was saying he's got 3 to 4 inches in Baltimore. So you know, it's just funny because I could have probably went up to see Jay tonight, but who knows? It could have probably. It's supposed to start tonight now. I don't know. I thought it was supposed to start today. It's all good. Good news is, like I said, we still have power. So, and I got my new setup all set up. Blang blang. Um, still working out some kinks with the setup. I don't know, but all in all, I'm pretty pumped about it, and I just gotta. Jay was saying I should try to angle these down a little bit. I don't know. I'm pretty tall, so like I tried to put them up higher, and it's not a professional listening environment by any means, but it works well. Thanks, Twin. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It was like a $15 purchase at the hardware store. I got some stuff on sale, super sale, and it was cheap to do. And I found the studs easily enough with my stud finder, and yeah, it seems so far so good. Capro was up there yesterday poking around. He slept up there one day over the weekend, and it seems like it's good. So fingers crossed that one day we're not streaming and the thing just falls down. But I don't think it will. It's supposed to be. I think it's good up to like 100 or 300 pounds. Each one of those each one of those 3 white shelf brackets is supposed to be good for 100 pounds. So, and we were talking yesterday, the ported holes, it's supposed to be 14 inches off the wall. Obviously, it's not that far off, but like I was saying yesterday, I don't really listen to or mix stuff at that loud of a volume. So, um, I don't know. I've never really had an issue, and I think the mixes I'm doing kind of speak for themselves. But so it's not a tune listening environment. I really just wanted to make all this space on my desk here. You can see I got my Moog Minotaur, I got my Digitakt, my UA control. Um, what is the thing? I don't even remember what it's called. The Twin, Apollo Twin, and yeah, I got plenty of room for activities here now. So I'm probably gonna put my synth over here. Computer goes here, and just wanted to streamline my setup. It was just getting too crowded on here, and pulled the desk out, gives me a little bit more room, and I'm pretty pumped about the setup. When I had some time today, I was running some wires and getting some things set up on the back end and on the. But yeah, I have my rack stuff over here on the ground. You can't see it; it's out of the shot, but it's going good. Um, I do have the M Cafe. Thank you for asking. It's actually on the ground. I should actually put it up. Thank you. I completely forgot. Oh, hey, Mike. Mike and Direct. Hey, talk about DBX versus no noise reduction. All right, we'll definitely get there. That sounds like a good topic. I like that. Maybe some of these peeps in the chat can give you a little primer on that really quick, but I'll talk a little bit about it. Yeah, there's the M. You can see it. I still got it. I just was trying to find a good space for it because it doesn't really fit up there. So maybe I can like mount it on the wall, like over there or something. It's my power letter, obviously. Thanks, Kat. Forgot about that. Well, Twin, I mean, your computer speakers, if you're used to them, you know, if you know what things sound like on them, yeah, I don't think that's too bad of an idea. Or you know, it won't be too much of a hassle for you. But I would say, yeah, maybe at some point you want to upgrade. But sometimes like that's the whole idea of the baritone in the middle there. That's like a crappy mid-range speaker, and it's if your mix sounds good on that in mono, it's going to sound translate pretty well. So maybe your computer speakers are kind of, even though they may be kind of crappy, um, if you get a good mix on them, maybe it'll sound good. And if you listen to a lot of stuff on them, you'll have a good idea of what you like and what things sound like on them. So um, I would say hang on to them and keep referencing mixes on them if you listen to them a lot, because that's the same thing with my car. My car has like crappy speakers and crappy system, or not even a system. It's just whatever came with the car. But I was saying that yesterday. Like I listen to like 90% of stuff that I listen to in my car. So, and I've had my car for like 10 years, and even though they're not maybe the best, if you know what things sound like, you can at least have a frame of reference for where your mix could be at, or where things would make sense if you put a mix up on them. So don't be so hard on your shitty computer speakers, Twin. That's my 2 cents for that. They could help you out in the long run, but yeah, eventually maybe you want to get some monitors. But I mean, these are great, But like I said, I do most of the mixing on that mid-range speaker in the middle, and I do really low volume mixing with this stuff. So I'm not like, obviously this is my bedroom, so it's not like maybe someday I'll have a studio like Jay, but for now, I think there's hacks around it, and you know, I don't think most people can afford to have a studio. So you got to work with what you got, and work with how you can. So I think Jay does prefer not to have DBX. Yeah, I that's a good question too, Andrew. All right, we'll get back to the DBX versus noise in a second. Andrew asks, do you tend to leave your instruments set up? I like the ability to just plug and record, but it's taking up tons of space. Yeah, that's what I run into too. I mean, with that's why I wanted to clear off some space here, because then I can put this stuff, which is pretty small. I mean, this is like smaller than a laptop. This is really small. That's really small. Um, I mean, yeah, ideally I would like to have all my guitars and stuff set up. Right now I have another unit down here that has hookups for my 4-track, so when I want to bounce something, it's like ready to go. And then I have my SansAmp RBI for my bass, and I also use my SansAmp pedal. Currently I'm using the color box. You might be able to see it. I've been messing around with the color box a little bit, but I'm probably gonna sell that soon. But I got my some stuff down here. I got my Apollo 8, which so that has pretty much everything ready to run through it. So like I can just plug and play. It's the same thing, man. Like you don't want to have stuff getting in your way when you're ready to work on stuff. Um, but yeah, I tend to leave them set up if I'm like killing it, and you know, yeah, color box it's a JHS pedal, but this I don't know if you can see it. I've been using this a little bit. I had it for a while. It's sort of like kind of what we're doing a little bit with the. It's supposed to be modeled after like a Neve preamp, in like a pedal preamp form. So it's kind of similar to what we're doing a little bit with the TascFam. Not quite. It's most of the sound. Pretty apartment name. It's supposed to sound like you know, like a Neve console, like cranked. Like the big sound is always like Revolution by Beatles. Like that guitar sound is just like a guitar plugged straight into a console, not apartment. um, yeah, it's a cool pedal. I just I don't know. It doesn't. I find a lot of those. It's hard to get a good sound through them. Um, can you run a mix through it, or is it just mono? The color box cafes. Yeah. Okay. So that's okay. So I'm gonna swing back through to the DBX noise reduction. Oh, it's yeah. You can. It's mainly for like tracking. So I guess you could run a mix through it, but I think it's just mono, I believe. So um, it's kind of has like it has an XLR in and a quarter inch in, and then I think it just has an out, quarter inch out, and I think it's all just TR connections, but I could be wrong. I don't know, but you could run a mix through it, but I think it would be mono. So um, right. I hope that answers your question. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of a brain slowdown here at the moment. But yeah, I tend to try to leave everything set up. That's what I was saying. Is like I have my bass over there, but it's been floating around in my room. Like it's kind of like playing musical chairs. Like at night, I kind of put it on my desk chair, and then like I put my guitar away because it was just all over the place. My Capro actually plays the guitar at night. Like in the morning, he'll play it to like wake us up and to eat. So I kind of try to not let him do that because it's annoying. It's cute, but it's annoying. And but yeah, it's like, but I feel like the constant shuffling of things around and the constant like taking stuff out, putting it away, just having stuff set up, it makes it a lot easier to just plug and play and run and gun. I mean, that's what I was doing with my when I put up this guitar hanger from Lowe's. I'm using it for my headphones now because my guitar doesn't fit over there anymore because I moved some stuff around. But that was my idea too, is to have, I'm gonna put my guitar right here. And that's the same idea, you know, if you have it out, you know, maybe you can put the stuff against the walls or, I'm not as big on those stands anymore as I used to be, like the guitar stands that just come up. Um, but yeah, I agree, Andrew. Stuff can get in the way. So that was the whole reason for me doing this big change here was I wanted to have more stuff out and then more stuff out of the way because I was starting to get in the newer videos. I was telling you guys yesterday. I'm like off center because I had this table that's right here now. It was over here with all this stuff on it, and it was like it was just getting too cluttered. I had to, you know, it might be time to rearrange or consider getting rid of some stuff. Andrew, I don't know. Um, that's I'd really like to have a dedicated spot to just even if it was like a closet or you know like a 5 by 10 space or a 10 by 10 space that I could put like a drum kit in. That would be amazing. But I live in this apartment and it's like I have neighbors, so it's kind of tough to set up a full drum kit. But yeah, I would love to have just a setup where I could, you know, have everything ready to go and whenever I want to just go in there. And I think that's the key to that's a nice hack, Andrew, that you brought up is having your stuff all ready to go, and you know that can help out immensely in terms of when you're inspired. Because I mean, how many times have you tried recording something and you're all ready to go, and then I don't know, there's some snafu with a cable, or your guitar is not in tune, or you know you have to set up, plug stuff in, and like get a sound right. You know, it's like I think the less obstacles that you can put in the way of when you're ready to record, I think the better. Because I don't know, for me, I just lose inspiration really soon. So, okay, Mike Indirect, I think that's your name. We're gonna swing back around. Thanks for coming out again. So, DBX versus no noise reduction. I gotta admit, I gotta be honest. I don't know the science behind DBX or how it works, but as Catface was saying, um, I think some people record with DBX and playback without it. I tried testing it, but it just ate my high end. I believe that's how it works. Somehow cuts off some of the high end because a lot of the tape hiss is found in the higher end of the frequency spectrum. So a lot of people. So I guess you would have a wider frequencies spectrum to record within. You know, let's just use some random numbers. We'll say 20. Like I don't think I think the tape only goes up to 17. So we'll say 20 hertz to 17 kilohertz. So 20 to 17,000 without it, and then with it on, maybe it knocks it down to I don't know 14. Like again, I'm just making these numbers up, but to give an idea, or maybe it even cuts some of the low as well. Like I know that the spectrum. However DBX works, it somehow squeezes the spectrum and cuts off like certain aspects of it, or shelves off the high end, so that it takes out the hiss. And that's what a lot of people complain about. I'm actually, that's funny you should mention that, Mike. I've been wanting to do a video on that, for the next 4-track Friday. So I'm gonna definitely do some comparisons for you soon, because I've been planning to do that. So it's really good timing, actually. But so that's mainly the idea. Oh, hey Matt, what's going on? Yo, guys, I'm at my sister's birthday dinner with the first fam. Just wanted to check in to not break my perfect attendance. All right, Matt. Dude, thank you, Matt. Thanks for coming through, my friend. But enjoy your time with your family. It's important. It's important to hang with the TAS fam, but it's super important to hang with your first fam. So, but thank you for coming through, my friend. And if you want to just leave the video up in the background with the volume down, that would be cool. Help me get some watch hours or whatever. But if not, it's cool, man. Dude, do you, dude. And I appreciate you coming through and appreciate you keeping your perfect attendance record. So I don't know what your guys' experience, and what your people's experience with DBX versus no noise reduction, but that seems to be a lot of people's experience, is that, um, yes, it reduces the hiss, but with noise reduction, you're losing some of the spectrum. So a lot of people will say the general term that, the general idea is that a lot of things that are, well, okay, so you said what instruments suffer less from DBX? Well, just pretty much anything that's not going to be super high end. So I would imagine bass doesn't suffer as much. Like drums, like cymbals will probably suffer more from DBX because they're up in the higher spectrum. I would think something like shakers, something like tambourine. Vocals would probably suffer. Guitar, depending on where the fuzz sits, if you're recording hot. I mean, a lot of guitar sounds are in the upper mid range, so I would imagine the low end is more intact, and the upper end of the spectrum stuff that's, I think Cafes was saying tape hiss is 6 to 10 kilohertz. So probably anything above in that range. Like again, like I'm not entirely 100% sure, to be honest, but I mean, for my own personal tests, I would say that that's been the case. The higher end stuff in the higher end seems to be mellowed out, or some of the information is missing. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to. I think I can take some of the stuff I did with the TascFam Preamp, those sounds I did, like the bass line and synths. Maybe I'll run each one of those into the 4-track for the video coming up, and run them through like the same performance through the DBX with it on, same settings on the preamps and stuff, and then I'll do another one with it off, and then we'll examine it through the EQ and see what happens. Right, yeah, the tape too. Like, I'm pretty sure cassette only goes up to 17 kilohertz. It might even be less. It might even be 16. I have the manual. I don't think I have the manual in a good spot to grab it right now. Oh, thanks, Matthew. Yeah, we're gonna be doing that one soon. Welcome, Matthew. Yeah, we'll be doing that one maybe this Friday. It'll be coming out either this Friday or next Friday. I'm not sure. I can't remember what the schedule is. Um, hmm. Yeah, because I know the TascFam, not the TascFam, the 4-track too has the in the back of the. I think it goes up to 16, and then with the DBX, I want to say it's like 11. But in my memory, I'll make sure to cover that in the DBX versus no noise reduction video. It's a great question, Mike and Matthew. Look forward to those, and we'll be doing this. But I think that'll be a good way, and then we can examine the results. I'm thinking about shuffling tracks to sync track and back. What are you going to be using, like a DAW? Mike. Let me just see if I didn't miss anything. Yeah, cafes. If you have any of those tapes on hand, and you can let us know. Are you gonna just record on the tape back and forth? Because the only thing with ping pong is that you're gonna get a lot more tape hiss like every time. Yeah, so I'd say try to keep your track maximum. You don't want to bounce it too many times within the tape because every time you do that, you're going to be adding like another noise floor of each generation. So um, I would say you're probably going to want to either record with DBX on. Whoa, Capro just rolled in. What's up, dude? Um, I would say you want to roll with DBX on, or there's also a technique I've heard about as a trick where you record some like your instruments with the treble boosted, and then the idea is that once you have the record, so let's use an example. Your vocal, right? You record with no noise reduction. You blast the high EQ, the treble. Hey, Giant Tree, what's up? You blast the treble, and then that's recorded to the tape very hot with the treble, I don't know, peaking out in the higher end of the spectrum. But then when you go back to, you can EQ out some of that high end that you recorded with the treble, and then by EQing that out or shelving that out, you take a lot of the hiss apparently along with it. So that's another video I should really do. Let me write these down because I have some ideas coming up. I have like a lot of stuff. Oh, okay, it's actually maxed out. Plus 6 decibels at 315 hertz, -2. Okay. So is the high end then just 10 cafes? Yeah, so we're gonna do get a new page here. We're gonna do DBX versus no noise reduction. That's been one that's on the docket, one I've been thinking about a lot. So thank you for bringing that one up again. And a lot of people have been asking about that one. So good timing. And then we're talking, oh yeah, recording with extra treble. Recording with treble, but then EQing it out. So when you EQ out the exaggerated treble frequencies or the exaggerated high end, you wind up when you EQ that out, you take a lot of the hiss with it. So that's something else we have to check out. I personally like the sound of the hiss. I think it kind of works as what is that called, dithering? I think. 'Cause a lot of stuff just sounds too clean today. Like Jay and I usually talk about that a lot on the channel, and also in private. We're always talking about how just some inherent noise on a recording sounds pretty good, and so much of modern recording today, and I don't know, just recording in general seems to be trying to add in some kind of dirt or some kind of hiss or some kind of dithering or something to I don't know, fill out or make the recording more pleasing, because as you know, with the digital realm and in the box, like things just sound very clean, So it's just I think it's just ironic that we've gotten to this point where people don't want the hiss or the sound, but I feel like if it's done right, it can really work. And so many recordings today, there's that emphasis on putting the hiss, putting the distortion, putting overdrive back into the recording, and maybe that is just what's going on right now. But I think that's also why like analog synths are coming back, because there's just like an inherent excitement in like an analog sound that's like being manipulated through transistors and resistors or whatever. The sound being created by like a physical object and physical like sine waves. It just has an inherent. It's just exciting to listen to. It has more movement going on. There's more noise. There's more life to it, and I think that's kind of the issue with digital stuff. Or I like to record digitally. I have the Twin, and I have some of the good stuff, and it's a lot easier in some regards. But yeah, it's all about that physical sound, that physical. I don't know. That would be a good comparison video too. Like, a lot of this stuff today does emulate the analog synths really well, but there's just something that's very exciting about them when you listen to them, and that's kind of why I kind of went from the digital modeling synth to the analog stuff. I don't know. There's just something to my ear that I don't know. Just super excited. It just sounds more alive. There sounds more exciting. I don't know. There's something about it. I think the way that it hits your ear is different. The way that it hits your brain. Um, so that's my scientific explanation of why I like noise. But no, the thing too to defeat the noise floor, and that's what a lot of people argue with DBX versus no noise reduction, is if you record at a loud enough volume, you should be able to defeat the noise floor by essentially covering it up. So if you record at too low of a volume, you're going to hear a lot of that hiss. You can hear that hiss on something like Iron and Wine, for instance. A lot of the earlier stuff, The Creek and the Cradle, I think is one of the albums. You can literally hear like the guy's refrigerator, Sam Beam, his refrigerator, like turning on in the background. You can hear, obviously that's no noise or but in terms of hiss, because that's those songs are played so softly, um, and they're recorded softly that um, they're not like louder than that inherent hiss. But if you're hitting the tape hard enough, if you're playing, if you have the faders up enough and the master fader to 7 at least, and the regular channel faders to 7, and you have the gain staging right. Um, Usually the hiss isn't too big of an issue unless you're doing something that's very quiet or a lot of instruments drop out. Which yeah, I mean that can come up, but definitely it takes a little bit of experimentation to figure out what is going to make that noise floor either disappear or bearable for you and for the listener, I guess too. But yeah, I personally, I don't know. I personally like having a little static, a little noise, a little snow in the background, even if it's like almost imperceptible. I think it really helps to glue things together. Um, let's see here. Okay, we've got a lot coming in here. Sorry, I've been going off here. Um, yeah, happy birthday to your sis, twin. I mean Schizo. Sorry, Matt. I was reading your comment, twin. That's why. So, Skiz, Matt, happy birthday to your sister. I didn't wish her happy birthday. I'm sorry. Twin, thank you. Um, I ran it through another mixing board. Oh, I don't know that Yamaha that you guys mentioned. I have a Yamaha MT100. Yeah, that's the issue. Cafes, it does eat the high end. That's what we've been getting into. I think we answered the instruments suffer less. Giant Tree, what up? We're talking DBX versus no noise reduction. We're talking tape frequency response. We're talking I don't know, recording with treble and EQing the hiss out. We're just talking about lo-fi, adding distortion, overdrive to digital recordings to make them more exciting. We were talking analog versus digital synths a little bit, just to get anybody up to speed who's just joining us. Jumbo, hey, what's up? Oh, stream hiccup. Oh, snap. Let me just make sure we're still going here. That would be embarrassing. I think we are. Stream health looks good. Let me refresh and make sure. Because I've been running things through my phone, which is cool, and then I have my like control center on my computer here. All right, looks like we're doing okay. So I don't know what happened with the stream. Oh, that's cool that the chat does that now. Okay. All right, sweet. So Jumbo, what's going on? Um, so Cafe said it's actually Max L tapes. We were talking about that. I think the Max Killers is 14 for Ferro, 16.4. Oh wow, metal goes up to 19. I didn't know that. Yeah, so Mike and Direct and anyone interested in the DBX. So I'm assuming that with the DBX on, that those high end Max frequency responses are going to be lessened because the DBX I think chops off some of the high end, or to eliminate the hiss. I'm gonna have to do more research on that because, like I said, to be honest, I don't know exactly the science behind DBX. But I'm pretty sure that that's how it works because like I've witnessed and a lot of people tend to say that that in cafes said that it eats the high end, but a lot of people don't like to record with it because they think it muffles the sound or it cuts the frequency response too much or it just makes things sound dull. So it would make sense if it's shelving the high end or the mids or something. We could look that up actually and figure it out. Wikipedia. It's more about dynamic aspect of the sound. DBX messes with transients, but tape distortion does too. Right. So exactly. That's a good point. I think you're talking, Mike, indirect. Defeating the tape hiss by recording louder versus using the DBX. Because I think that's usually the argument with not using DBX. If you just record loud enough, usually you can eliminate or defeat the tape hiss. I mean, the tape hiss starts to come in when you start ping ponging a lot and bouncing within tapes, or going from, like a master, going from your 4 track to like a master deck, or bouncing between 4 tracks, or even bouncing to your computer and bouncing back to the 4 track. Anytime you're going to be going from tape to tape or bouncing, it's going to be adding that unless. And it's hard because each stage of the game you have to really be diligent about defeating the hiss. So CD is 22.0.05 kilohertz. That's interesting because I think most humans can't even hear 20. So that's interesting. Um, but it depends on the brand. Because I think I quoted earlier was the EQ curve, not the. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to. I wish I don't have my manual here at the moment. Actually, I have it on my computer. We could look it up. Hey, Shake, Mr. Shake, what's going on? Stream hiccup. I think I figured out. Okay, cafes. I was searching for a mic Elliott Smith used on drums and read on Gearsless that you can hear trucks in the background of his self-titled album. I don't think I've ever heard that. That's amazing. Yeah, I think about that too when I'm doing stuff like there'll be like a plane going overhead or traffic. It's hard, but I mean, I feel like most people aren't going to hear that, and if I don't know. It's like I said, the thing with Iron and Wine, I think it's just amazing that you can hear his refrigerator turning on and off, and you can hear the compressor, that's like making it cold, making the refrigerator cold, going on and off. I think that's just part of the charm of it. Jumbo, we're back. Try recording a bunch of samples and what it does, like 808. Yeah, we could do that. That's what I was saying. Is like doing something. I want to make sure whatever we record with DBX versus no noise reduction is going to be the same and played the same. So I'm going to just reamp some sounds back through the tape, both, and then we'll compare them, and then we'll check out the EQ. I think that's going to be the best bet for that. Is a compander. It compresses the dynamic range, then removes the hiss when it expands it. Yeah, okay. I remember reading about that, like something to that extent. I wasn't sure how to explain that. DBX Type 1 system is meant to be used to recording media that have a signal and noise ratio before noise reduction of at least 60 decibels and then -3 frequency response of at least 30 to 15. Have Type 1. Okay, so that. Right, so it compresses the dynamic range and then removes the hiss when it expands it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, thanks for checking out the Wikipedia cafes. I'm actually gonna make you. I don't know why we haven't made you a moderator yet, but you've been killing it. So there you go, my friend. If you want to pop any links, this is a really good topic. DBX versus no noise reduction. I'm surprised I haven't covered it yet on the channel. If someone would recreate it with what parameters should be the compressor. I don't know. All right, we're checking out the DBX. It's funny that this technology was meant to enhance the sound of tape, but a lot of people argue that it does that it Oh, okay. What does this say? Upon playback, the encoded material now contaminated with noise is passed through an expander which restores the original dynamic range. The contaminated signal is heavily attenuated or masked by the dynamic expansion process, resulting in significant reduction in perceived noise. So, works by first compressing the source's material dynamic range, in this case by a factor of 2, so you'd want a 2-to-1 ratio, in anticipation of being recorded on relatively noisy medium. Single band companders, they're susceptible to audible noise modulation and other artifacts. Emphasis on the audio signal. Control signal process rolls off the high and low frequency response and desensitizes the system to frequency response. Since the roll off is only in the control path, it does not affect the audible sound. Okay, yeah, there's your quote. Both systems use 2-to-1 companding and provide exactly the same amount of noise reduction and dynamic range improvement. In other words, they provide the same end results but are not compatible. Sometimes noticeable artifact of DBX, this is interesting, was breathing, as the compander rapidly increased and decreased the volume of the background noise along with the music, which was noticeable in quiet musical passages. Yeah, there's a whole area of this Wikipedia if you guys are checking it out. Lack of DBX acceptance in marketplace is super interesting. Um, this is I can't wait to read this. This is awesome. Um, yeah, so it sounds like um, right off the bat, that one part I was reading before, the contaminating signal tape hiss is heavily attenuated and masked by the dynamic expansion process, resulting in significant reduction in perceived noise. Passed through an expander which restores the original dynamic range. Interesting. So we're gonna have to do some tests on this. This is gonna be good. Guys, this is what I love about the channel and live streaming. It's like, oh, Jay, what's going on? Jay, we're talking DBX. If you have anything to add about it, we're trying to just talk a little bit about how that works. We got some ideas about some new videos coming out. I want to do a video that's going to be DBX, like a song or drum samples ran through the 4-track with DBX with no noise reduction, and then compare the two. I imagine that Jay is a non-DBX fan. But yeah, it sounds similar to the idea of recording with extra treble. It's maybe a different way of going about it. In the sense that, like the other method I was saying to get rid of some of the hiss is to record with an exaggerated amount of treble and then EQ that out. Therefore taking the hiss along with it. That's a method that been wanting to test that too. But then EQing out the treble, taking the hiss with it. I'm just writing that down because I wanted to make that video. EQing, taking hiss with it. So I don't know if that's exactly the way that the DBX works, but it sounds sort of similar in that it's kind of reduces hiss, lops off the usable high end. Okay, that's pretty much what we've been. That's pretty much what I've figured and what we've kind of been chatting about. Yeah, I guess it's Cafe's found out that it was like it's basically like a compander. So I guess it's a compressor, but then it expands the sound. So it kind of compresses the entire signal, but then therefore attenuating the hiss, but then it expands the sound to fit the frequency range again, therefore like masking the hiss, which I'm not really sure if I can wrap my head around exactly how that works. But it sounds like it makes sense. But that's what I was saying. It sounds like the other method too of overemphasizing. It sounds like both the DBX and the treble, recording with more treble, both emphasize, like overemphasizing the hiss and then lopping it out or taking it out. Let's see. Compressor expander DAW is 2 to 1 to 1 to 2 doesn't sound close. Yeah, I don't know. That might not. I might be reading that wrong. What about recording to tape compensating for the -6 bass and plus 2.5 treble versus EQing? I don't know. That would be a good one too, Catface, to try. Um, I wonder if you'd have the same result. You know, I wonder what the difference in the results would be there. I mean, I guess you would be hitting the tape harder, right? If you recorded to if you like prior to if you in post, if you were EQing it, it would probably have a different sound than if you're recording it louder to the tape to begin with. So that would be a good comparison video too. I'm gonna so recording the tape with compensation of the frequency range with comp of frequency range. That's an interesting question. You'd be trying to apply preemphasis to a forced RIAA curve. Yeah, I don't know. Hmm. If you were adding to the 10K post recording, you'd probably be adding noise, right? That makes sense. Yeah, if you because you just be bumping up the. I mean, that kind of happens when you just have a regular, like I don't know, not regular, but when you're like recording or using the EQ, I've noticed there's usually a lot of pop music try to overemphasize like 10K and above, especially like hip hop vocals. I remember I was recording with this hip hop producer at one point, um, doing some mixing with him, and he was showing me how a lot of like hip hop stuff is super overemphasized. Here I go again on my own. What's up, Coop? Yeah, I'm all alone today. There's no snow. I don't know what happened. There's not a single flake on the ground right now, but we prepared for it, so that's cool. Um, I wouldn't add anything that high in post to a cassette recording. Yeah, but that's the idea. That's what I was saying with the hip hop stuff was they would overemphasize like that range, but it would be that like super noisy, hissy, just really almost piercing end of like a vocal that you're trying to emphasize, but when it was thrown in with the rest of the recording, it really made the vocal cut through. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, yeah, I think you would be adding a lot more noise by EQing the stuff in post. So I would, yeah. I think the more you can get right on the front end and before you go into like a DAW or a 4-track, the better. I think that's something I've always tried to, something I always try to do just because I always say that I'm lazy, but I guess my laziness has paid off in that sense because, I don't know, I just don't like to do a lot of stuff on the back end, so. Yeah, so we got a lot of interesting topics coming up. In a DAW, you could notch out the super offensive hiss information with high Q filters if all fails. That's a good point, Jay. Jay, I'm really glad you were able to come through, my friend. That's a really good point, actually. I mean, I think that's kind of the point of with overemphasize. I keep saying that I'm gonna have to do a video on this, but recording with the treble overemphasized and then EQing out the treble, taking the hiss along with it. I think that's kind of the same idea there. Yeah, you could take like single band EQs and really high Qs and really notch out the hiss or try notching out anything that's super offensive, like Jay's saying. Yeah, so it sounds like you'd be better off. I think that maybe that's what Catface you're getting at there too is I think you'd be better off overemphasizing the hiss as you're recording and then in post either notching it out, shelving it out, or in post being subtracted with it than trying to add EQ curves or and I think taking away information is always better than adding it. Um, Damn, I'm like super. I'm having a hard time just like thinking tonight. I don't know what it is, but I hope this has been intelligible. Completely random thought, but sometimes I wish there was some sort of jamming through the stream. Yeah, that would be cool, Andrew. I don't know if uh, people do it, but I mean, I'm sure you could jam through like Skype. Um, Maybe I guess you'd have to have like a really fast internet connection because I mean you can play like video games in real time with people. Um, yeah, that would be the thing, syncing it up. I mean, technically we could record parts to a specific BPM, or like I could play something and then be like, okay, this acoustic song is recorded at 120, so then you guys could record stuff at that, or and say it's in a certain key. Um, I don't know if internet speeds are fast enough to do something like that right now. Yeah, but that's right though. Like there were stream like you're right, Kat. Like you stream. I remember people doing that. I've seen videos of people streaming in real time and jamming with each other, which is really cool. Yeah, you everyone would definitely need a good connection and be on the relatively yeah. Right. Yeah, because I guess even yeah. Right, figure out each other's delays. Yeah. Yeah, I think that would. I mean, I don't. Who knows if this exists? But any budding entrepreneurs out there, anybody who has any kind of coding skills, if you're watching this, I don't know if it exists, but if somebody could make a platform, imagine there was a platform like that. There may already be a platform like that. I don't know. Um, it could be called like You Jam or I Jam. And it would be you sign in and you can just jam with different people from different parts of the world. I don't know. That could be really cool. That could be a really cool social media experiment slash social media site. I don't know. Um, Maybe we can figure out how to do that. Oh man, that's awesome, Andrew. I'm super pumped that you said that every time the stream is live, I get super inspired and start playing. That's awesome. That's awesome. I really that's like more than I could ever hope for with the channel. It's like a big part of why I like coming here and showing up and doing all the videos. It's like I want to be able to inspire other people to do what they love. And that's awesome, man. I'm really happy for you, and I'm glad to hear that the channel is inspiring to you. So maybe we can figure something out with the jamming. I think that would be really cool. But yeah, if anyone wants that idea, go for it. I don't think I'm going to be able to figure out how to do that in my lifetime, but pitch it to Shark Tank, Kevin O'Leary, since he plays guitar. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. Right, instead of chat relay, jam relay, exactly. There's that's an idea. I don't know if it exists, but play with it. The tagline would be play with anybody from around the world, or play with anybody anytime from all over the world. That would be cool. You could have, and there you'd have some kind of merit system or some kind of like, you know, it's like YouTube how there's like power users. You'd have like, I imagine there'd be like a drummer that everybody wants to play with, and like different jam sessions that always happen, and then you can get like famous musicians on there and like jam with them. Like, there's a lot of potential for that idea. I don't know. Maybe that's what the TascFam is all about. Um, yeah, social media app with online exactly. Um, I don't know if how that hasn't existed yet, because I mean I've seen the videos. Yeah, maybe Google Hangout. The thing is like I tried. I don't know. So I wanted to try to start talent could be play with strangers. Yeah, exactly. Um, Imagine then you could have the first band that was all people who had never been in the same room together. Like you could potentially have a band that became I don't know, like a pretty big band, or like a band that would be a completely it'd be a completely new phenomenon, you know. Having a band that had potentially never met in real life, but they were, imagine that, like a band that would be like famous on the platform for jamming together or writing songs or like playing shows through the platform. That would be super cool. The sub tagline could be "It's not sexual." Play with yourself while playing with strangers. Yeah, that's true. Um, oh, cool. That's awesome, Coob. I feel like, yeah, that's funny. That is sort of what we're doing with the cassette chain project. Obviously, we're not jamming simultaneously, but that's awesome. Yeah, but I'm doing that with my buddy Joel too. We've been sending some tracks back and forth. You know, kind of like Postal Service. That's that Ben Gibbard project from, it's probably like 10 years ago now. But it was like the guys would, you know, mail each other tracks and collaborate on them. Um, is it You Could Be a Cop? Yeah, those collabs are always fun. Um, that would be super cool. I don't know. Let's. I'm gonna do a quick Google search here to see if there's any sort of site like that. Online jamming. Oh, I'm all cap locked out here. I'm just searching online jamming to see if there's some kind of platform that already exists. Oh, Sofa Session. Okay, so there's a bunch of stuff like we're talking about that already exists. Yeah. It only has, yeah, like this is like there's some out here that looks like people are making, but I don't really see. At least, let's see here. Yeah, I don't think. I mean, so yeah, there looks like a lot of people have had this idea, but nobody's really online jam sessions. Best way to stay connected, jam right away from your desktop. This is weird. It's funny. It looks like there's a bunch of there's a bunch of people who tried to do this online jamming idea. I just searched for online jamming in Google, and sorry, my low battery thing came up. I just searched for online jamming in Google, and a bunch of stuff came up, but I don't see anything that's really that looks like it's really knocking it out of the park. I see a lot of kind of just seems like websites like people like us could have made, but I think this is a cool idea. I would love to see somebody trying to do. Okay, this looks sort of like probably the best one so far. Sofa sessions. Sofa session. Um, I don't know. It doesn't really seem like computer with internet valid account. Yeah, I don't know. I think that there's some stuff to figure out with this. That I think this is a great idea though, guys. It doesn't seem like anyone's done it before in any way that works in any sort of large capacity, and that could be a result of internet speeds right now. But because even like talking with, so say like talking with Tim, who is like two buildings over from me, uh, on Skype, I try because I wanted to eventually do Skype interviews with people on the channel. And I don't know if it was my internet connection or Tim's, but the quality was really horrendous, and there was a considerable delay. Um, so I don't know. I don't know how fast of a speed internet you would need to do something like this. It seems like a lot of people have had this idea, but nobody's really been able to pull it off because I don't know. All this stuff seems a little bit underdeveloped slash abandoned slash, you know, copyrights from 2016, but nothing new on the page, no activity really. So I don't know. I'm gonna look into it, guys. Maybe this will be the start. Maybe even if we just figured out a way to do it for ourselves, this would be a really cool idea. I'm super pumped. That's something I would love to try to work on that. Um, I know a little bit of coding, but I've been trying to learn more. That's kind of where I'm trying to go. And as a new hobby is learning more about, like, I built the 424 recording website. I built my BeCoolCowboy.net website. Supposed to be building J website at some point. I've done a bunch of websites for like an online class I was taking. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to see if I can figure something out. But I think it would be awesome if YouTube could somehow could implement it. Honestly, if YouTube could figure out a way to do it. Oh, with Skype, would you be using the same connection for the call and to stream it? Be easier to do a voice call and then stream the video, but offset with your phone and laptop to look right. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing here. I have my phone and my laptop going. I think that may be what's holding this idea back right now. At least for my brief exploration of online jamming online. Um, I don't know. It's kind of funny. I would like to do some more research on that and figure out jam roulette. I like that. The task jam. Yes, we gotta figure this out, guys. I'm just gonna write that down. There's always ideas floating around. I'll gonna do some more research on it. I think I want to say that it's the biggest issue with it's got to be latency. But I mean, people do tutoring online. People do live stream, like Cafe's saying, with games. Latency is going to be an issue, and having the jam lining up in a way that you're together, because obviously if you're like jamming with like a bass and the drums, you have to make sure that you have like no latency. Um, Davia, what's going on? I just bought a self-made TascFam 424 power adapter from Germany on eBay. So now I'm official gang member, right? We'll start recording with my Zoom sample track. Yeah, congrats. I second that. Welcome. Welcome, Davia. You're definitely a official gang member. So welcome to the Task Fam. I think I've seen you floating around on the channel, but welcome to the stream. I don't know if you've ever come through. Good to see you, good to meet you, and welcome to the fam. We're calling the project the Reds, which was the losing side of the Finnish Civil War. Weren't they coup? Okay, you guys are talking some history there. Cool. Yeah, Davia, congrats. Excited for you. Can't wait to hear what you do. Link us when you get some tracks up or something, Always curious to hear 424 recordings and what people got going on through the channel. There's been so many people emailing me. I want to thank everybody that's been emailing me with, projects and recordings. People from all over the world, just like reaching out, saying the channel's helped them a lot, and cheers to everybody out there. Everybody, that's awesome. It's really fulfilling to know that this message of simple recording and recording with the 4 tracks getting out there, and the videos are helping out. I'm glad I could fill the void of 4-track videos on YouTube, and I'm really happy to have all you guys hanging out on the stream and just chilling on a Wednesday night. Cool. Yeah, but that's my new setup. Pretty dope. Cheers to you, Mike. Yeah, Jay. Heck yeah. Dude, thank you so much, Jay. Jay, of course, you're one of the biggest parts of the channel, Jay. Thank you so much for always coming over and streaming with me and everything. It's awesome. I feel like we've got something really cool going, guys. And I'm excited for the future of the Task Fam and all the stuff we're going to be doing. And it feels good. It feels good to have a project that's really doing some cool shit. So thank you guys for all being a part of this and sending stuff and being part of the Task Fam. I don't know if the stream's dropping. It seemed like a lot of people just bounced, or the thing is, let me just check the health. Um, I guess we okay. It says we okay. I'm packing this bowl. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, thanks, Jay. Heck yeah, man. Of course, man. My pleasure. My pleasure. It's all just showing up, man. That's what it's all about, you know. With that, guys, I'm going to be calling it a night over here. I'm pretty tired. I don't know if you could tell. My brain function seems to be at an all-time low this evening. I'm glad that there wasn't a snowstorm and that we had power and that we didn't have to do candlelights and cassettes. Although we should do another candlelights and cassettes soon. I hope all you guys and girls and people out there are doing something that you want to be doing tonight. I want to say Godspeed, my friend, to all my friends out there and all my friends across the globe and the world who are making their 4-track recordings, making stuff get going. Oh, Tom, you got a question? All right, hit us up really quick, Tom. We'll hang for your question. But you know, like this if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We're gonna take this one last question from Tom McMillian. Thanks, Tom, for coming through. Tom, new face. Welcome to the stream. We got the wizard here. And we got all the TascFam. We got Cafes, Twin, Coop, Davia came through, Mike and Deer, Indirect, Mr. Shake, Jumbo, Matthew, Andrew, of course. Everybody, thank you so much for coming out tonight. Giant tree was floating around. So good to see all y'all. And we're gonna just wait for Tom's question, but make sure you guys do something you want to do tonight, tomorrow, and in the future. Thank you so much for making the channel possible. Thank you so much for coming out to the live streams. We got a lot more content coming out in the future, a lot more videos. Just excited to start doing some new stuff. I've been taking it a little low key. I haven't had too much inspiration or what do you call it, motivation to do too much. So, but I appreciate you guys coming out and hanging out. So I have a 488 Mark II, and I was wondering if you have ever used a compressor on the 4-track on your home recordings, and what was the result? Tom, I have not done that in a long time, but somebody was telling me that I'll hook you up with another YouTuber that's all about the multi-track cassette recorders, multi-track cassette fans. He just did a video about this exact. I believe this is it right here. I'm gonna link you to this video, Tom, because MCF, a buddy of mine, he has another channel. Check out this video, Tom, that I just linked. And don't forget to subscribe to Multi-Track Cassette Fans. But this is I haven't watched this video, but I've been recommended to watch it. And I've watched a bunch of MCF's other videos. MCF's is regular on the channel, and but I would check that one out because that looks like a cool video. It looks like one of the only videos on YouTube right now about compressing and 4-tracks. But I used to have a compressor. I used to have the Art VLA2, I think, and I used to use it as like a mastering deck. But I mean, you can use the I usually use compressor with vocals going directly in. But I do like the sound of just the vocals, just hitting the cassette tape hard with the vocals. Yeah, Tom. Also, hit us up on the forum. It's 424recording.com/forum. And you can email us at 424recording@gmail.com. That's mine. And then you can hit up Jay, and that's at Operation Audio at gmail.com, and that's Jay. So Jay the Wizard is also a good guy to contact, Tom, if you have questions. And obviously anybody on the channel too, but specific questions about gear and stuff, I would hit up Jay. Please hit us up. Thanks for coming through, Tom. Sorry we're going to be closing up shop here. I hope that this... Oh, that's awesome. Cheers, mate. This channel really helped me out getting the hang of... Tom, we were just talking about that before you came into the stream. This is exactly what I'm saying. It's like I couldn't have planned it better, you know. A lot of people have been coming through, and it's so fulfilling to know that the channel's been helping people out. So, Tom, thank you for coming through and asking the question. And obviously, wouldn't be talking to anybody, wouldn't be doing anything without everybody's questions and stuff. So thanks for coming through asking. I hope that video answers it. I'm gonna actually watch that video now to make sure that it'll answer your question. But hit us up on the forum. Hit us up on the yeah, I guess the capital H. That's weird. Hit us up on the forum. Hit us up via email, Tom, if you have any other questions. Thank you so much for the shout out and the cheers. I'm really happy to know that the channel helped you out. Thanks for coming through. Guys, we'll see you next week. Maybe we'll get a coffee with Mike in here one of these days, probably pretty soon. So keep an eye on the mornings. I want to head out. I want to say hi to all my Russian and English, German friends out there. So they're on the other side of the world. It's always not always easy for them to come out. But guys, TascFam, thank you so much as always. Do something you want to do tonight. Godspeed, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I just lost my train of thought. Smash that like button if you like this, and make sure you hit the notifications if you want to get notified when we go live. Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern, when there's not a snowstorm. So awesome. All right, well, guys, we'll catch you on the flippity floppity. Catnip with Capro coming up soon, and unite and take over. All right, I'll catch you on the flippity floppity.